Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to participants from various time zones. We are happy to welcome you all for the 8th webinar of ONWARD. And ONWARD, as you know, the open network for water-related diseases. It's the network of scientists and stakeholders sharing a common interest in understanding the water-related diseases, and also a platform for them to work together for the timely prevention and also prediction and monitoring. And we have been, as you all know, we have been conducting regular webinars, but in between we had 2 training programs. That was why we had a short break in organizing the webinars. Now we are back with the webinar, and ONWARD is happy to announce that as part of its network expansion, we had discussions with the European Union Agency for the Space Program, and they have kindly consented to give a webinar today. And to introduce you, USPA provides safe and secure European satellite navigation services, promotes the commercialization of Galileo, EGNOS, and Copernicus data and services, and coordinates the EU's forthcoming governmental satellite communications program, GovSatcom. And today we have 2 young ladies presenting or talking to us about space data for healthcare, and I'm happy to introduce them. Veronika Strnadová, I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced your name wrongly. She is a remote sensing scientist and consultant at EUSPA. She has a PhD degree in geography and remote sensing from Charles University in Prague. And she has been representing the Euro-Geo surveys for Earth observation and geo activities for 4 years. And she was a visiting scientist at the Helmholtz Center, Potsdam. And she was appointed as an Earth observation mentor for the NASA summer program in 2018. And ever since the Copernicus data was made available, she has been working on developing new applications that use these free data in synergy, that is Sentinel-1 and 2 data. And she has been working as a senior Copernicus consultant in EUSPA. And the other young, beautiful lady is Marketa Gladysev. She is a management consultant from Alpha Consult, working on-site at EUSPA. And she is working closely with innovators and startups, helping them to leverage benefits of EU space program via organization of hackathons, competitions, connecting them to accelerators and investors. Apart from that, she is working on downstream market development in healthcare segment, fostering the adoption of space data by healthcare and pharma stakeholders. And before her assignment with the USPA, she was working in a leading consultancy, Ernst & Young. And also, she has a master's degree in international business. So, over to Marketa and Veronika. Let us hear about them on the advancements in healthcare using satellite from space.
Thank you very much, Nandini, for the introduction, and also thank you very much for this opportunity. We are really happy that we can share the activities that we are doing. We can introduce the agency and, of course, deep dive in more in the healthcare topic. Can you see the slide? So the full screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to introduce you to the topic. My name is Marketa Gladysev. Nandini already told you. And I work as a consultant for market development team, mostly in entrepreneurship team. So we have different activities for startups and companies, supporting them to incorporate space data in their businesses. And one of the sectors we are working on, and when I work, is healthcare. So EUSPA is European Union Agency for the Space Program, and Nadine already introduced you the agency. Just to sum up, it manages the new EU space program, including Galileo, which is Global Satellite Navigation and Positioning System. So I'm sure you know GPS. Galileo, it's like European version of GPS, and it has now more than 3 billion users, meaning there are more than 3 billion Galileo receivers worldwide. One of the components of space program, EU space program, is EGNOS. And EGNOS makes navigation signals more accurate and trustable for safety critical applications. It's mostly implemented in aviation, but also other sectors, and it's a European system specifically. And EUSPA is taking care of operation and service provision of those two, and also market development, meaning fostering or encouraging the industry to adapt these data. The third program is Copernicus, and a large part of this presentation will be dedicated to Copernicus because it's also relevant to water-related diseases, which is like the main topic of ONWARD network, as Nadine said at the beginning. And Copernicus is Earth observation program, monitoring based on satellite and non-space data. There are more than 20 terabytes of data that are coming from Copernicus every day about climate, about air, about land, water, and we will go in a detail later. And the fourth program is GovSatcom. It's secure satellite communications for EU governmental actors. And EUSPA was created only in 2021, and it replaced former GSA, Global Satellite Navigation System Agency. You might have heard of it. And till that, the agency was responsible for Galileo and EGNOS only, and was working on a market development of Galileo and EGNOS in different sectors: smartphones, automotive, aviation, maritime, emergency, rail, agriculture, time and synchronization, surveying, and space. And they have been, the agency was established more than 10 years ago, and there were a few success stories. For example, there are now in the world more than 3 billion Galileo-enabled smartphones, or 55 car brands selling more than 150 EGNOS and Galileo-enabled models. In agriculture, for example, 97% of new tractors in Europe using GNSS to optimize agriculture. And since 2021, EUSPA started to work also on a market development of Copernicus, focusing mainly on commercial users in all of these segments, but also in some new. And one of them is healthcare. So for us, it's a very new market we are entering. There are also other new markets like finance and insurance, raw materials, forestry. But today we are here to focus on healthcare. One last thing I wanted to say before we move to, or before we deep dive in Copernicus data, I would like to dedicate one slide to Galileo as well, because you might wonder like how Galileo or global satellite navigation is related to health. But actually it's already been using today, from emergency caller location to monitoring of elderly patients. Galileo is helping health and safety, and also supports development of telemedicine or medical transport, or solutions that help visually and physically impaired. And of course, there are many applications like smartphone applications or wearables like fitness watches, fitness trackers that we already use every day. It's a natural part of our life and our healthy lifestyle. And now I would like to give floor to Veronika, and she will introduce you more in detail Copernicus, its data and applications.
Thank you, Marketa. So I'm sure you have heard about the Copernicus program because it is the biggest Earth observation program in Europe, providing continuous, timely, and global information that is relevant for many different application segments and sectors. But considering the public health, Copernicus monitors health-related environmental phenomena and provides information and forecasts on air quality and UV status. In addition, Copernicus can also help identify areas prone to emerge and spread of epidemics, which depend on multiple environmental factors such as water, sanitation, food, and air quality. Regarding the healthcare segment, Copernicus provides information about the composition and the status of the atmosphere, oceans, inland waters, as well as the land. So imagine at the same time you get this complex information for all the environmental parts. When we look at the Copernicus, there are three main pillars. Beside the space component, which actually includes 7 different satellite constellations that collect completely different type of data, there is also important in situ component. And on the top of that, there is a service component that actually provides ready-to-use information that has been actually compiled based on the space and in situ data. When we look at the Copernicus services, there are services built for atmosphere, maritime, land, climate change, emergency, and security, whereas the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service and Climate Change Service are the most relevant regarding the healthcare. And these services provided added value products, indicators, models, as well as archives, near real-time and forecast products. Now I have a short video explaining you how Copernicus can be used for health segment, so I hope it will work.
There have been a number of concerns related to climate change and health. One is related to heat waves. The rising temperature means that heat waves will increase in frequency and in many cases in severity. The other one is vector-borne diseases. So the changing climate actually may bring new kind of vectors such as mosquitoes or ticks and the like.
So European Health Project aims to develop climate indicators for the public health sector, both nationally and locally, so bridging the gap between complex climate change or climate data and users and the public health sector might need. For example, we develop indicator like heat and cold exposure, an indicator for the heat wave days, the cold spell days, but also an indicator for pollen forecast and also suitability indices for vector-borne diseases. But besides this, within our institute, we develop urban data for 100 European cities, and we provide these data to the platform as well. So we'll have state-of-the-art and very accurate data, but in a friendly format without having to download very complex and very big data schemes from different sources as well. From one place, different data can be downloaded. For example, we would have temperature data to then use to simulate and produce estimates of future climate change impact on mortality and attributable deaths, for example, or we could have data from seasonal forecasts to use to inform the public health sector and population on prevention schemes that have to be put in place locally. With respect to the pollen season start, it's of high value to the public because they will know for the next season if pollen will start earlier or later. So we are in very favor to have all these data available at this source where many people can just go ahead and download them and use them in their institution.
So I also have to mention that the Copernicus data and services are provided for free to anybody. This is the most important, I think, information. Okay. Seems like frozen. Okay, I will try. Okay. So now coming to the part where I will show you some applications and innovative solutions that have been developed for the healthcare segment. So as mentioned, Earth observation helps us to fight vector-borne diseases, thereby support prevention, early warning, and healthcare planning. Earth observation also contribute to monitor environmental pollution and risks, including heatwave risks, and Earth observation became also part of personal applications and wearables. So let's move to the first example. So obviously, or it's quite clear that Earth observation can play a key role to fight with vector-borne diseases. And in Europe, there is a EVA platform. EVA means or stands for Early Warning System for Mosquito-Borne Diseases. And it is a prototype system that was built to support prevention and protection against the mosquito-borne diseases. This system combines interdisciplinary scientific fields such as epidemiology, Earth observation, big data analytics, machine learning, to build new directions and innovative solutions, services for public health. What is important to mention that this project actually won the first prize, European Commission Horizon Prize on Early Warning for Epidemics. So basically, this platform combines different type of data. That means Copernicus data, but also Earth observation data provided by NASA. And beside that, it also, like the integral part, are also in situ data. That means in situ data on mosquito abundances and in situ data on pathogens. So basically integrates different kind of data. And if we look at the AI architecture, we can see that the web platform provides dynamic and data-driven models that learning about dynamics of mosquitoes. It provides information about abundance and mosquito-borne disease transmission, and provide predictions at monthly, weekly, and daily basis. The solution is actually open data. They actually support open data sharing policy. So basically, APIs can be shared in different applications. And EVA also supports some kind of capacity building and public awareness, and provides or releases different kind of reports for end users. Another project is called IDEO and actually aims at developing innovative, scalable, and accurate services to produce West Nile disease risks maps. Again, like the key part is sort of observation data together with AI. What is West Nile virus? It is one of the most widespread mosquito-borne infections in Italy and actually also in Europe. Its transmission cycle is well understood. However, identifying suitable environment conditions across different areas containing multitude species, it's still a kind of difficult task. So therefore, the goal of IDEO is to connect again like AI, that means artificial intelligence, to Earth observation and explore hidden patterns and build automated processes making accurate predictions of spatial temporal emergence and spread of the disease in Italy. So here you can see, for instance, how this disease is developing over different time windows. for instance, from the May to the beginning of June, or from 15 to 27 August. So as you can see, like using this kind of platform, they can map how this infection is spreading. Another interesting application is Dipteron. Dipteron is a startup founded in 2018. The main goal is to provide an application for detection of Aedes mosquitoes. And why is this actually so important? Like early identification of vulnerable areas is crucial to control the spread of such diseases. And the Dipteron application can detect such risk areas, again, using artificial intelligence and combining different type of observation data, that means from European Copernicus program as well as from the NASA program. Now coming to another issue, it's definitely clear that different kind of environmental pollution can cause many health risks, not only for humans, but also for animals. So there is a very innovative project that is aiming at finding plastic patches in coastal waters using optical satellite data. Satellite optical data, such as Sentinel-2, actually offer a unique perspective to detect plastic litter in the marine environment. However, there are only a few studies like showing this possibility or this kind of application. Therefore, like in this project, scientists, they use Sentinel-2 data to map patches of floating microplastic, and they show that these are distinguishable from natural occurring materials such as seaweed. So when we look at some kind of processing scheme, we don't need to go into the detail, but you can see that if you look only on a RGB image, you cannot see actually these plastic patches. But after some specific processing using Sentinel-2 data, then these plastic patches are detectable, or basically can detect some suspected plastics in the water. So actually, within this project, a novel floating debris index was developed that allows this plastic patches mapping. And in all cases, floating aggregations were detectable on a subpixel scale and appeared to be composed of a mix of seaweed, sea foam, and microplastics. And the overall accuracy of this approach is about 86%. Another interesting application is Sea-Free EuroHub. This activity actually is focusing on mapping harmful algal blooms, as these algal blooms grow and release harmful toxins, which can kill actually the animals in the water, but also can be harmful for humans if they, for instance, eat the fish. As a result, they can have an extreme damaging effect on tourism and fishing industry. So the aim of this Sea-Free EuroHub project is to build a water quality alert system that will be designed for marine managers and marine industry. So here you can see an example of like what kind of information can be provided using a web-based alert system. And this system actually provides information about 3 different algal species. And each algal species obviously is causing different kind of problems. What is important to mention that the images or information is provided in near real time. Another issue that actually, like with the climate change, is becoming more and more relevant, even in Europe, are heat waves. Heatwave, it's a name of a European project funded by ESA. And under this project, also the application, the platform with the same name, Heatwave, was developed, allowing users to explore a number of heat waves in European countries. So here you can see, like using this platform, you can check the status in the whole Europe, but then you can also zoom in to the area or the state or the region that you are interested in, and you can see actually how the heat waves, the fluctuation of the heat waves between 1979 till 2022. Another project that is dealing with the same kind of issue is focusing on analyzing urban heat waves. So basically they analyze the phenomenon that is called urban heat islands, and they also analyze the relationship between temperature and draw in the agriculture areas of the metropolitan city of Milan in Italy. And they actually test different kind of Earth observation data for this kind of application. Now coming to the issue of air pollution, this is obviously like a factor that can affect human health status quite significantly. And under the big European project called eShape, there is a pilot focusing on modeling air quality with relation to citizen health. And again, like fuses Earth observation with population and health data, building tailored and added value product that support public air quality and health assessment. These products are in particular an aggregated risk index for population impacts on health that is provided for several megacities of the UNESCO list. Satellite-based observations converted into NO2 surface concentrations. This is actually built for Finland. Another product is health risk due to exposure to different air pollutant mixtures like PM2.5, PM10, NOx, SO2, and so on. This solution is provided for the city of Munich. High-resolution population-weighted PM2.5 concentration levels provided for the city of Bari. And they also estimate dynamic mapping of population exposure to air pollution. And this is provided for the city of Athens. If you look at the platform, at the one product, you can see here an example, an aggregated risk index for pollution impacts on health. And you can see like this kind of health pollution risk index is provided for different cities within the globe. What is also good to mention that different kind of Copernicus data and services are fused together, like Sentinel-5, but also another services provided by CAMS. And also important part is the in situ component. That means in situ data provided by citizen observations, and also like different kind of numerical modeling data sets. Nowadays, there are actually like many smartphone apps available that can provide valuable information regarding the surrounding environment, and this information can be highly relevant for personal health. So basically, like there are different apps you can install on your smartphone. One example is Passifo, which actually allows pollen status forecasting. And what is important to mention, that provides personalized allergy symptoms forecast and allows to compare personal allergic complaints with the concentrations of pollen in the air. This application is primarily using the CAMS data. And another, let's say, example of very interesting smartphone apps, it's Discover, which actually, like, this app is relevant for people living in Greece and Cyprus. And it recommends an optimal time to visit any given location based on its air quality, UV index, and pollen and temperature. So provides you, let's say, every end user with this complex information on the atmosphere status. And again, it's primarily using the information from the CAMS service. Another example is the application called UV-Bodyguard that actually warns end users before getting sunburned. It measures the UV radiation and sends the data to the end user smartphones and warns them on time. And this application is built primarily on Sentinel-5P data and another, let's say, again, information provided from CAMS services. For some applications, the accurate positioning is the key information. And in that case, Galileo is the best solution for building personal applications and wearables. So one interesting example is the application called Follow Me by Run Blind, which is actually a precision guidance solution based on sound augmented reality. And it provides accurate and reliable positioning for, let's say, visually impaired people and help them with their outdoor activities. Another application, it's called Oculus Tracker, and it is a GPS tracker that can be used by alpine ski racers. And again, using a GNSS high accurate positioning to provide data analysis on the sportsman's performance directly to his or her smartphone, tablet, and or PC. So now we will be moving to another topic, and I will ask Marketa to continue.
Yeah, thank you, Veronika. Yeah, so following up the examples of applications and use cases, I would like to move to another topic and introduce you EUSPA Market Report, which is the annual report that EUSPA is producing, and it provides detailed information about application markets of the space data and overview of applications, but also many trends and market sizing and different kind of information that is useful for everyone who is working with either GNSS or Earth observation data. And this, we call it, it's our market intelligence report. It's freely available on the EUSPA website. You can see the link. And it analyzes trends and applications in 17 market segments, including those that are relevant for healthcare. You can see them on the left side, and it's climate services, biodiversity, ecosystem and natural capital, emergency management and humanitarian aid, and consumer solutions, tourism and health. And there is also one editor special. It's a special session on innovative solutions for health. So if you are interested in the topic, we believe that this is a really good source of knowledge and information. And I would like to just present few market trends that I took from the report. However, there is like detailed analysis per each market. Veronika introduced you several consumer solutions or several apps that could be used by individual users. It was the mobile apps using pollen or the mobile apps using information about atmosphere. And according to the report, when it comes to application of GNSS and revenues generated by GNSS, consumer solutions dominate all other market segments in terms of cumulative revenues. And under these consumer solutions, basically it's any mobile app, wearable, it can be robotics, it's any solution that can be used by individual. And there are also tourism and healthcare applications. So you can see it's like 61%. Another highlight that I think it's interesting from the consumer solutions, it's regarding the wearables, that the shipment of sports and wearables, so an annual increase of 30% between 2015 and 22. And sports and wearables are like heavy users or are widely enabled by GNSS. And when it comes to Earth observation, there are different applications that are relevant for healthcare. For example, EO-based climate modeling or climate forecasting. And EO-based climate modeling holds by far the largest market share in the segment with the other applications. And you can see that the trend is growing even to a future, like the prediction shows a very positive trend. And now I would like to move to a little bit different topic, and I would like to introduce you the tools that EUSPA is providing to companies, to the industry, but also that is providing to support the startups, individuals, and innovators. So here you can see different tools that EUSPA is using to stimulate the innovation and to stimulate applications using space data. So first one is called Cassini. Cassini is a European Union program focusing on space entrepreneurship. And I will provide you more details on the next slide, but in general, it supports startups, innovators to stimulate innovation and entrepreneurship in the aerospace ecosystem. Second one is Horizon Europe. And this tool, it's funding tool, and it's focusing on fostering the adoption of Galileo, EGNOS, and Copernicus via application development. While third program, Fundamental Elements, it fostered the development of hardware, let's say, so receivers, antennas, chipsets. And then Aviation Grants, and it fosters EGNOS operational implementation, and it's mostly used for aviation. All the information about current opportunities are on EUSPA website. So if you're interested, you can go there. And as I mentioned previously, here are more details about Cassini program or the activities that EUSPA is managing under Cassini program. A lot of them are focused on startups and entrepreneurs. So for example, there are tools to support startups to develop solutions. They are hackathons, so it's short events, usually over the weekend, where we provide mentors and some prize and challenges, and startups and innovators, they are developing ideas on how to use space data in their solutions. But also there are competitions and development programs that help companies to, for example, develop a prototype or a final product. Also, we are helping startups to get funding. For example, EUSPA has good connections with European Business Angel Network, built a database of venture capitals that are available on EUSPA website. There are more than 20 venture capitals, and EUSPA is providing them technical advice. And also there are several startups from EUSPA network or coming from the competition that they are at this stage they need to get funding. EUSPA helps to make this connection. Also, we have a relationship with EIC or European Investment Bank or European Investment Fund. And finally, there are several possibilities how to get technical or business advice from the agency, and also how to be connected with the industry players. What is currently open and very interesting, it's a competition for entrepreneur startups, scale-ups, or basically any innovator. And it's called My EU Space. And it challenges participants in many areas. It's very open when it comes to topic. Only requirement is that the team is using either Galileo and Copernicus data. And there is a prize pool of €1 million. And there will be around 30 awards awarded because the competition is split in different phases. So you can apply with an idea, or you can apply with a prototype, or you can apply to develop a product. So there are different streams for different teams, let's say, depending on the maturity of the idea or a product at the current stage. And application deadline is at the end of November. We put a link on the slide, so if you would like to know more information, you can go to the website and see the details. Okay. Another opportunity that we would like to share is that if you would like to learn even more about space and its data, EUSPA launched EUSPA Space Academy. And not only it provides information about EU space data and signals, but also there are different training and mentoring modules on team and resources, customer and sales, legal, finance, business, and product. It's free of charge, and you can join anytime. And finally, soon, there will be a new EUSPA Horizon Europe call open. Maybe it's already open, maybe it will be in coming days. And there are different topics, like, for example, GNSS applications for smart mobility, or public sector, or Copernicus downstream applications and the European data economy, large-scale Copernicus data uptake with AI and HPC, designing space-based downstream application with international partners. So this one in particular, because as Nandini said, the audience at this call is very, very international. So this call in particular might be interesting for you. And then GovSatcom service developments and demonstrations. Another activity that we are doing is user consultation platform. This year, consultation platform already happened, but it's yearly or bi-yearly activity where we are engaging the user communities, industries, but also service providers, R&D, and we bring them together to discuss different applications, sharing the experiences, sharing the needs, and we take this outcome of the user consultation platform and analyze it and summarize in a report on the user requirements and needs. And this will help to prioritize the agency also for the future R&D programs. And one of the session of the user consultation platform this year in Prague, it happened as a part of European Space Week, was focused on consumer solution, tourism, and health. And yeah, we are always interested to have more users and more stakeholders in the network to be engaged in the discussion, so that we can learn how the industry is already using the space data and what are the needs. Okay, I don't know how much. Yeah, we have 15 minutes. So maybe now we can use this time to a discussion and questions from your side.
Thank you. Thank you, Marketa and Veronika, for the excellent presentation. We have heard about how Earth observation data can be used not only for water quality monitoring, then predicting heat waves, but also how it can be applicable to protect the vulnerable communities, and also most importantly in health applications. Thank you for that, and also about the value-added services that are being produced using the Earth observation data. And we have a few questions already. I'll read out the questions. You can also see them in the Q&A box. The first question is by Yuriko, and great presentation, Veronika. Does the mosquito application cover tropical areas in Latin America and Africa? If not, how can we build localized services for these two areas?
Yes, I think like the application Dipteron, it's global. Yeah, so the other one is only European, but the other one is it should be global. And I am sure there will be even, let's say, more platforms that are available also like for, let's say, different countries, different continents aside Europe. Just need to check this out. But this is definitely like the direction that is like rapidly growing, and like there are so many new platforms, applications, you know, like made available just recently. And as I say, this is progressing very quickly. So you can check the Dipteron application, and then also you can try to search for another ones.
Thank you. Thank you. Yuriko has a second question also. He has asked the same thing about urban heat waves. So,
urban.
Yeah.
Yes. So actually, that platform, it's European, as you could see, both of them actually, urban heat and the heat wave. But I saw also the applications they developed for different African cities, for instance, like NASA, together with other partners, like different universities. So I'm sure like this kind of products, they are also available for other parts of let's say, of the world. So again, check more like on NASA platforms and NASA provided services.
Thank you. And the next question is by Sirisha, and she has asked how she can analyze the data on any of these platforms without downloading the data for Indian subcontinent, like the land viewer.
Yes, like these platforms I presented, they already provide, let's say, the final information. That means like the information that can the end user use directly. But there are, of course, like another platforms and also like hubs where the developer can use different Earth observation data, and together with the tools they are provided at those platforms. So as I said, like Copernicus data, you can access freely, and you can either download them or just use APIs for your applications. You can check the ESA Hub website, and also the services are free. So again, you can use the APIs for your own solutions. But there is also like a freeware called Snap. This is also provided by ESA, and in this software, free software, you can process different Sentinel data, and it's also free.
Thank you. And we have a fourth question now. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly, Gilami. And the person has asked, if I understand well, the Cassini program is a set of tools to support firms. But you should apply for each sub-program or tool like hackathon, incubator, or event funding.
Yes, indeed. Cassini, it's like over umbrella for these projects, I would say. And if you are interested, you should apply for one in particular. For example, there are always 2 hackathons per year. Or now this My EU Space competition was launched. But also, you can also write to us, to the email, because we have also a network of startups and companies. And we recommend and help if the company is relevant topic-wise, like using Earth observation data or Galileo. We can also provide like more, let's say, customized support or recommend which tool to join, or if the company is at a level or looking for investors, for example, we can help to connect and so on. So I think one possibility is to follow the website and sign up for a particular project like the hackathon, or contact us on this entrepreneurship at EUSPA. I'm not sure if I showed the email on the presentation, but I can also write it to the chat. To our email, entrepreneurship@euspa.europe.com. And we can also individually see if there is any other way how we can engage the company.
Thank you. Next, we have a very long question. Gennaro, thanks for your great presentation. As important as having remote sensing data, having in situ data for algorithm validation is also key for having fit for purpose and fit for use data for applications, right? This is, in my opinion, a bottleneck for the space industry. Could projects focus on collecting data for remote sensing validation? Could that be considered in the funding opportunities you presented?
Well, yeah, this is actually so true what you say, that we really need the in situ data to build the products. They make sense, products based on Earth observation. And we need this data to calibrate and validate the final products. In Europe, fortunately, we have many national bodies. They collect different kind of in situ data, and they are freely available, so we can use this data in Europe. The question is if we could, you mean the agency like EUSPA, if it would found such activity, if it shows the link, or explains why it is needed and what will be the impact, and demonstrate, well, let's say, why it is needed, perhaps yes, but I recommend to have it connected also with Earth observation, with development of some kind of Earth observation based product.
Thank you. We have the next question, probably the last one, from Nancy. She has asked, why have you chosen naive-based classifiers? Is there any other classifier that can classify debris with similar accuracy?
Sorry, I didn't get the name of the classifier.
Naive-based classifier. You can see that in the Q&A box.
Okay, where is it? Because I was not showing any specific classifiers, I was just mentioning machine learning, AI, and some kind of new index development. So,
the last question in the Q&A box.
The last one? Okay.
Yeah.
We don't see it here.
Oh dear. Yeah, I can paste that in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, now?
Yes.
Naive bias. Okay. Well, that's a question to the relevant authors, you know, like or the developers. So I just was showing you the projects and applications developed by different consortiums and groups. So if you have this very specific question, you should address the people from the consortium.
Yeah, so that was the last question. And yeah, I have a question. You mentioned about the Horizon EUSPA call. And for that, applying for that, do we need to have a EU partner or such formalities are there? For tropical countries also, can you apply? I mean, for India and other countries?
I would need to check the rules like country by country, but for sure the call that I mentioned for international partners or with international partners, even countries outside of European Union can apply. Now, I'm not, because my colleague manages these calls, I'm not 100% sure if you need to have a European partner or not, but I can also check that and get back with more detailed information.
Thank you. So I think that was the last question, and we had one or two questions about making the presentation available. We usually provide the videos or post the videos both on the Air Center website as well as on ONWARD website. And Jose has already provided the link to the Air Center website. So you can see the videos there. We'll be making the videos available through the ONWARD website also. So thank you all for having participated in this webinar. And I understand that we may have an equal number watching it through the YouTube live streaming. And once again, thank you, Veronika and Marketa, for your excellent presentations. And yeah, it has actually made us aware about the applications of space data for healthcare, and not only for healthcare, but a lot of applications. Thank you. Milton?
Thank you, Nandini. Yes, I'd like to thank again Veronika and Marketa, as well as EUSPA for today's presentation. Very interesting and well illustrated with so many products, projects, and application examples. Also to the Air Center for the usual partnership, and to everyone here present today. Also to the organizations that have been supporting us, such as UKRI, GCRF, PML, NERSI, INPI, and AMETSAT. As Nandini mentioned, the material presented will be available on the Air Center and ONWARD websites, and also the video on YouTube. And we hope to keep in touch with your interest and presence in the next meetings, and we'll keep you all informed. So thank you all very much, and bye-bye from here.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be part of this webinar, and keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Welcome. And yeah, a special thanks to Jose, who has been working behind the curtains. Thank you all. Bye.
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 Bye.